Joining us now is the former ICE Director John Sandweg, also the former prosecutor, federal prosecutor David Weinstein. John, you first on a number of immigration-related stories, but this is at the top of the list today. The Abrego Garcia case is now back in the news. What would you say about the way the Justice Department is handling this? Yeah, they're bringing him back, but not only is he facing charges, but he's facing additional allegations as well, and plenty of them. What did you make of it?
Well, Connell, I think the administration found a way to save some face here, right? He was deported unlawfully, by mistake. The administration was under increasing pressure by court orders to bring him back. I'm not surprised that it went down this way. Candidly, I thought, Connell, they would bring him back for immigration proceedings. Remember, he was granted withholding of removal. That is a temporary protection that meant he could not be deported to El Salvador unless the government came back to the immigration court and said circumstances have changed. They found this basis for the criminal prosecution. He will now be prosecuted, but Connell, at the end of this, he will again be put into deportation proceedings. And I will tell you, there's a serious risk, especially if he's convicted, that he could be now ordered lawfully to be deported back to El Salvador.
Yeah, Bondi talked about it. She said that was basically the plan. They would, after he served his time here, is what she said. They want to send him back there. Charges themselves. Let's put them up on the screen. David, what do you make of them? So you got conspiracy to unlawfully transport illegal aliens for financial gain, unlawful transportation of illegal aliens for financial gain. There it is. 2 federal charges. As I said, far more in terms of allegations, what they talked about. But what about the charges, David?
Well, Connell, if they can prove these allegations are true, these are very serious charges and charges that affect both the national security of this country as well as the immigration policies. My bigger question, not the charges themselves, but they're alleged that they've been going on since 2016 through 2025. And at one point, they'd even stopped him in a van full of people they suspected were illegals. Why now? Why is an indictment being released on May 21st is when the indictment came down, and he's now being arrested? What was happening during the course of their investigation? So
Bondi was asked essentially, as I recall that question at the news conference earlier, David, and the answer was something to the extent of because Donald Trump's president. In other words, this started in the Biden administration, and they weren't up to the task. That was basically, as I remembered, her answer, David. You don't buy that?
No. Connell, the facts are the facts. You look at the indictment. At one point, they outline exactly what happened in the van in Tennessee, which is what brings this case back to Tennessee. And they didn't do anything from that point forward. I don't think it was a particular administration. It's law enforcement, and they're investigating it. Either they investigated it at the time and didn't have enough to support it, or it somehow slipped through the cracks. But you also have to look at 6 cooperating co-conspirators in this indictment. Not 1, not 2, 6 of them. Do they have the corroboration to back up what they're saying about this particular defendant? Do they have records? Do they have cell phone records? Do they have banking records? What are they going to do? You can't just trot out 6 people who point the finger at him and say he did it.
Yeah, and did more than what he's charged with. As a matter of fact, according to Bondi, those co-conspirators talked about all kinds of other things and trafficking of minors and abuse alleged of women and all kinds of different things were talked about. But on the 2 charges, what about you, John, on David's point that he brings up, the why now? What would you say?
Well, I think what David makes a good point, Connell. And, in the immigration enforcement world with ICE agents and CBP and others, every day you find offenses like this, right? Within the migrant smuggling community, you find aliens who are helping each other, transporting each other. You don't typically see this many resources put into a single investigation like this. Oftentimes, the remedy is deportation. And again, as I indicated, the administration could go back to the immigration court and said, hey, there are changed circumstances. We have new evidence. We have this evidence of potential smuggling, obtain the deportation order. So you certainly wouldn't see normally for someone like this much effort put into a federal criminal investigation. That said, again, he's back in the U.S. They're now compliant with the law. Right. Let the legal process move forward.
And they found a way to do that, to your earlier point. So, it's interesting because the things she talked about, David, when she was outlining the charges is that, and she was trying to make it out, and she did say this, that this was the guy's job, smuggling, that this was what he was working at full time. You read through the indictment. Was there not enough for you there to suggest as much?
Oh, no, there's enough for me there to suggest as much, Connell, but my concern is they're relying on 6 cooperating co-conspirators. Some who were part of this, some who received a benefit from this. They're going to come under some heavy cross-examination. We've seen a lot of that in other trials that have taken place. And if they can't corroborate what they're saying, they're left holding the bag here.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.